So guys, this is my weekly report for May 25th, and you can tell where I'm at right now. I'm out at the Delta smacking the bass. I got some big fish, so I'm gonna turn these guys loose. You can tell, look at them, they're fat, got the eggs in it, the tail's just starting to fan, so they're getting ready to do their thing. So for the report, it's I did a lot this week. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I did. Monday, I was up at Berryessa, and I was wanted to go out and try mooching for salmon. And we went out and we were mooching over there outside of Spanish Flats, and we fished for about maybe 2 hours, and we caught 3 salmon. They were about probably 6-7 pounders. They're really nice fish, and we missed 4 other ones, and the fish were in 35 to 50 feet of water. Then I went bass fishing, and you know what I did then. I caught a lot of bass. So then the next day I got my kokanee gear, went up to Stampede because they opened the lake, and it's beautiful up there. It was 38 degrees, and it was just really nice. The ramps open. There's no snow on the ground at all. The only snow left is up real high on the peaks. But the kokanee fishing was off the hook. I went with Roger Haney and Rick Teague with Blade Runner, and we started about 6:30, and probably 9:30 we were putting the boat on the trailer. We probably caught over 30. We kept our limit, which is 15. They were probably 14 to 16 inch fish. They're a nice grade of fish right now, and the lake's it's going to be the place to go this year. I've heard they're still catching them at New Melones. Berryessa's starting to kick out some kokanee too. But I just went to Bullard's Bar and to Stampede, and Bullard's Bar was really crazy. I was up there with Denise and Tom, and by 11 o'clock we had like 60 hookups. It was just crazy, off the hook. So other things, make sure if you go kokanee fishing, put that shoe peg corn on there, and then marinate it the night before you go, so it's really stinky. And I use the oil in Sunkist tuna, and I mix it in that, and then maybe a little Pro Cure. So other things going on. Then after that, I came down here to the Delta and back to my flipping, and flipped some nice fish. Had fish up to like 6.5, 7 pounds. So that's my week, what I did for this week. So basically fishing's on. One of the things that's still red hot is the halibut down in the bay. They're catching a lot of halibut, and they're also catching a lot of stripers. Guys are limiting out on both species. If you go get the live bait, you got to go to the pier or in San Francisco and get that live bait. The live bait receiver, on weekdays they close at 9 o'clock, and I heard on weekends they close at 10, and they're running out of bait. So you got to get there early if you want to be able to make sure that you get some of that bait. And basically just use a 3-way swivel with a dropper about 18 to 20 inches and about a 4 to 6 foot leader, and then drift it. And they're still catching a lot of them over there in South Bay, and usually in around 8 to 15 feet of water, and you should be able to have no problem catching your limits. Pretty soon here they're going to lower the limit to 2. Right now it's 3 at 22 inches, but you're allowed 3 now, but I hear they're going to change it real soon. So other things, there's still guys catching sturgeon. I mean, you could pretty much figure they're catching quite a few up by Knight's Landing. Those are the big ones that go up there to spawn, but they're also catching a lot of them from Martinez on in. So the sturgeon fishing's been good. Striper fishing's been excellent. A lot of big females starting to show up in the system now. Wraith called me from up north, but I just haven't had time. But he said, get up here. I'm on big fish throwing swim baits, but I just haven't had a chance. But they are catching quite a few. I got friends that are catching a lot of them in Liberty. Customer came in the store the other day, told me he caught fish up to 14 pounds on bait sitting in the river. So the river's starting to pick up, so you could pretty much catch stripers anywhere. I think with all this water coming down our system, the temperature is still a little cool, so those fish are holding off from spawning. So it's just making our season longer, so you could go out and catch a lot of stripers. As you see, they're catching a ton of them in the bay, and they're catching a ton of them all the way up to Grimes. So the system's just full of stripers right now. Right behind them is a shad. There's a lot of shad in the system right now. A lot of guys are catching shad. You know, there's a river they dump and it gets a little off color. I would go to the confluences, either the mouth of the Feather or the mouth of the American, where the water's a little bit clearer, and you should have no problem catching a lot of shad. They're a lot of fun, and they're in the system right now. The American's been a little slow because those fish usually come up last. They come up last in the season. So, you know, the American rivers, that's known for everything with salmon, steelhead, and everything else. They always go up that river last. So other things going on, the trout fishing. I think Nate's changing his thing now, and he's going to start kokanee and salmon at Berryessa. Paganelli's still catching a lot of bass at Folsom and Berryessa. And there's some of the sturgeon guys, striper guys, you know, just whatever you want to do right now, you could probably pretty much go catch them. Other things happening, I think New Melones is still putting out some cokes, and they're probably the biggest there. I hear they're catching them right in that 15 to 17 inch range. I think Stampede will be right behind it here pretty quick. And I don't know about Pardee or any of those other lakes. I haven't heard too much. But like I said, I went to Bullards and Stampede and just caught the heck out of them. So other than that, trout fishing is getting a little bit warm now. So like if you're gonna go to Comanche, I'm sure you can catch them because Nate was still catching them last week, and he was catching them down to 30 to 50 feet of water. So it'll probably stabilize there for a little while, and because it's not getting real hot, the temperatures are dropping back in the 70s and 80s. So you could pretty much go catch whatever you want right now. But I think the hottest thing for me has been kokanee, bass, and stripers. I haven't got to the bay on halibut, but I want to get out there pretty quick, and so I'll be doing that pretty soon. If you're heading out Saturday morning at 6:40, put it on channel AM on 1140. I'm on California Sportsman with Seps and Kent, and you know, I give the report. The first week Saturday I'm in the studio, so I'm talking to everybody and letting you know what's going on in our area. Other than that, if you like my videos, hit the like, hit the subscribe button please, because it'll really help my channel. And this week coming out, I think I got one coming out on how to install your HDS Pro 12 with an active live Target 2 system. I think that's coming out this week. I'm pretty sure it is, you know, but it will be out in the next week or two. Other than that, if you want to leave me a comment, you can leave me a comment and I'll get back within 1 or 2 days. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.
Hit the button?
Yeah.